Alright, back for round number 3. Um, this hand is great. That's all I have to say about this is this hand is great. So, we are not going to mulligan, and I am pretty excited about this. And hopefully I will not run my bobs into any kind of pack rats. So Woodland Cemetery, let's see what we draw. Swamp. Okay, Swamp's perfect, so Swamp Inquisition. And this feels like pod to me. Yeah, it is pod. Okay, so Forest Gavany. Um, so I think I just take his Kitchen Finks here as the card that wrecks our hand the most. And I can dismember his wall if I need to. Or just play a pack rat. But I'd probably go like dismember his wall, then Liliana. So yeah. We'll take Kitchen Finks and go from there. And he does not actually have the card Pod, which is sweet. So there's the forest and the wall. We know he has Gavany and Pride Mage. Another Lily. Yeah, like if he draws the card Birthing Pod, we get super punished if we don't kill this wall. So this may seem loose, but I just don't want to open myself up to get punished. Hierarch, okay. Gavany. Alright, so now the train of Liliana beatdown can begin. I'm just going to fetch a plains. Do as little damage to myself as I can. And we know he has a Pride Mage and one Unknown in his hand. Kitchen Finks. Alright. Alright, well, I think I am in the boat where I just have to discard this other Liliana to this Liliana. So we'll Inquisition. Doesn't matter which one we take. And now I either discard. I'm going to play Burmez this turn because he shuts down Kitchen Finks. So then I either am playing. I'm either discarding Pack Rat or my second Lily. Maybe since we have Burmez, we don't need Rat. Yeah, I'm going to discard the Rat actually. So then next turn we can go like Edict, untap Edict, or play second Liliana Edict again, and then rely on Burmez to get the job done. Yeah. Here I'm just going to fetch another Swamp. Just do as little damage to myself as possible. So hopefully this pans out, the discard Pack Rat plan. So far Pack Rat hasn't been very exciting in our. I think Pack Rat's actually really good in this matchup, but it hasn't been that great for us. So alright, well, Thoughtseize pretty bad. So, sack a guy. And we'll see if he wants to trade with the cat. Or chomp my Brimaz. Alright, well, go ahead and sacrifice the guy again. And we'll see if this line turns out to be worse, because we could easily just lose to just a number of powerful things Pod can play. So, discard that Thoughtseize that will not be relevant anymore. This Dismember will be quite good though, I feel. As long as he doesn't draw Revelark. Revelark is the card I just do not want to see. I think you should fetch Overgrown Tomb here, in case he draws like Redcap or something, he doesn't have to shock himself. But I guess there's also, because he cannot get a white source with this now that he has Temple Garden in play. Yeah. So I would just, yep. Mr. Man knows his pod, at least in terms of fetching. So. There's another land. Cut. I don't want to discard. I'm just gonna leave Liliana at 2. Like, I don't think Liliana's gonna ultimate. I'm fine with it just being another Edict effect, and I'll just play Souls, hold on to Dismember, and have lethal, and hopefully don't get Pontiffed. If he has Court for 3 here, Ranger of Eos, okay. Viscera, Noble. Yep. I just want him to get less scries, so I'll kill his Ranger in response. Okay. I think that's a premature concession, because he could still find a Court of Calling for a Orzhov Pontiff, Wrath my board, chump my Brimaz, untap, draw something else, come back and win. Seems very unlikely, but it could happen. I guess he would go to 1, so no, he's probably just dead. Okay. So, what do we want here? We want Relics, Disenchant for Pod, Wrath of God, and Linvala. So I want these 8 cards. I want to cut the Sorin, I want to cut the Lilies. Even though they were very good that game, they're not usually that fantastic against Pod, because they have so many like persist creatures and stuff. And I want to cut Inquisition because a lot of times Inquisition can brick, but I want to keep Thoughtseize. And I think Sculler is fine, just to exile something from their hands. And then I want all this hate. I don't know if this is, I think this is kind of a bad matchup for me, but I have not lost a pod yet, but they also haven't drawn a lot of pods. Alright, this hand is golden. This is the golden ticket. Alright, our opponent is mulling to 6 again. And this hand is absolutely gorgeous. Just remember, even better. There's merit to dismembering the bird, but I'll just Thoughtseize instead. Okay, so we have a Decay, Linvala, which I don't care about Linvala, Catacombs, red cap. So I don't think I actually care about either of those creatures because I can kill them both. Although red cap can kill Bob. So I'm actually gonna get red cap, and then yeah, I'm gonna get the red cap, and then play around the decay somehow. So, and then we can exile red cap with relic as well, which is pretty sweet. Just get that card just out of the game completely. And I can maybe use Dismember on Bird to wreck his... Okay, never mind. So he drew another bird. So, it actually worked out pretty well that I didn't use shenanigans at all. I'll just play a relic. And then I'm gonna... Just make him exile a thing. He's probably just gonna fetch in response. Oh, okay. I would have fetched in response in his shoes there. It probably is unlikely to matter, but I mean, you might as well play tight. So I could lose the township here actually very easily. So hopefully this is just Linvala. No! No! Why? Alright, well. We're just gonna kill Linvala. That was the worst. I'm gonna have to beat these two birds. Oh, Wrath of God. Okay, well, we're not playing Bob, we're just gonna save him for post-Wrath. Actually, we could play him and force... No, I want him to extend more into the board. So... that was the card I was hoping to draw, actually, there. So, Wrath of God. Alright. So if I Wrath, he can actually kill my Relic with his Abrupt Decay, though. But that does mean my Bob is good. I think we can afford to wait a turn, actually, as well. I'm just going to wait a turn. And hopefully that doesn't bite us. If he draws a land, he can hit us for 4, so that's kind of gross. But hopefully he just draws something to cast. It's not the card Birthing Pod. Oh, Lingering Souls. Wow. Ha! That worked out so perfectly. That could not have worked out more perfectly. So now I have to decide if I blow Relic to play around his decay, or if I let him decay my Relic so that my Bob sticks. I think I just let him decay my Relic. Alright, well I drew a land, so it's irrelevant. Let's go ahead and cast Ye Old Wrath of God. Biggest blowout this side of the East Coast. And we'll just get a bird while we're at it. Thanks. Alright. Here I assume he's probably going to decay my Bob. Doesn't even attack. Okay. Interesting. I guess he's like going to try to let me kill myself with Bob. Like, I think I'm actually just fine with that. Might have a Restoration Angel. He might have a Resto, actually, but he probably would have attacked if he had a Resto. Yeah, here I'll attack. Okay. So now I can block with a Mutavault and relic his Kitchen Finks. And the attack there was if he blocks, I get to relic his Kitchen Finks and then play my other Bob. Alright, his exiled cards are actually relevant, so we know what we don't have to deal with anymore. Here comes Kitchen Finks. Nifty. So now we get to path his Kitchen Finks. Save our Mutavault. He doesn't get to persist. Now we're turning the corner. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze. I'm just going to path that as well and hope that Bob doesn't kill us. Or that anything he draws doesn't kill us. Alright, sweet, perfect. Activate. Alright, so I'm just going to get both Mutavaults to the fray. And then Souls. I probably should have blown up his Temple Garden, actually, now that I think about it, but I do like to put him down to 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. I guess he's not dead yet. Alright, so he can Township his Noble Hierarch. Disenchant. Other Souls. I guess I should blow up his Temple Garden before I do anything fancy. Okay, just to force him to do that. hard pressed to see how he pulls out of this, but I guess we'll find out. Okay. So we actually pretty easily destroyed Pod there, which is, I like the fact that we won. That gives me a little bit of confidence about this deck, but I'm not sure that it's actually a great matchup for us. But we do have a lot of tools to beat it, especially post board when we get like the relics, the wraths, and all that stuff. Wrath of God especially is really good against Pod when they, because no one's gonna play around Wrath of God, especially out of this kind of a deck. So. Unless this deck's a known quantity, no one's going to play around Wrath. One thing I forgot to mention, and I'm going to mention now, is Damnation is actually better than Wrath of God. A little embarrassing, I'm playing Wrath because they're cheaper on Magic Online. So, Damnation is actually almost strictly better because we have the same number of each source, except we have an extra Urborg, so one more black source. That also makes all your other lands black sources. So Damnation is actually just quite a bit better. The only exception is there are some matchups where you side out Lilianas like this one, but you leave in Brimaz. So you do potentially run into scenarios where you want to fetch a second white source for Brimaz, and then you want to have a second white source for Wrath. Super corner case, but for the most part, I would just play Damnation, and Wrath is just a slightly cheaper alternative here that almost never makes a difference. But that was round 3, which we also won, so we will be back very shortly for round number 4, the 4th and final round, and hopefully we can win that as well.